Kendra, thanks so much. We'll see you back in a couple of minutes. We're going to begin, though, with that story out of Cherokee County. This was breaking news at this hour yesterday. The entire interstate closed as that pileup happened there inside the chute. 3 people killed, including a couple from Townville, a married couple, and then a woman from Virginia. And we learned the names of them. They're there on the right hand of your screen. We're told that Karen Goggin was actually flown from the scene but died from her injuries. Now, there were 6 other people who were hurt, but we're told all of them are expected to survive. And the question that everybody's asking is, what can be done to prevent someone else from dying? We're really looking at those chutes where there's concrete walls on both sides. The coroner coming out last night calling them a death trap. We caught up with him today.
I think it says, let's put a sign out there and say, enter at your own risk. Because you're entering at your own risk, because I don't think that it's safe. I don't think it's safe for motorists. I don't think it's safe for first responders to be out there. That's why the traffic is always stopped when we're out there working. It's dangerous.
We also reached out to local lawmakers to find out how they feel about the roadway. We caught up with the Gaffney City Councilman, Harold Littlejohn, and he talked with us about how drivers can also make roads dangerous.
It's only become a death chute when we have people have situations and have things that's not put properly in place that will lead to this. I mean, if the DOT has put in these things properly and in the proper location, gave the proper communication on signs and speed limits and stuff like that to try to avoid situations like that, and it happens. Sometimes if you find the total thing, it's upon human error.
Fox Carolina is committed to you, and folks in Gaffney are wanting to know what can be done to change this and who's responsible for what happened here. Again, there are a lot of questions here. Teresa Bowles has been in Cherokee County all day. She's live along the interstate. Teresa, what were you able to find out?
Well, Cody, if you look right now, traffic seems to be moving here on I-85. But yesterday, at least 8 vehicles were involved in a deadly crash. So the question I brought to Gaffney residents is, was it driver error or a safety issue the SCDOT should handle?
I hear EMS worker answer his phone, and they're like, is this Mr. or Mrs. Crowder? And I was like, yes, this is his son.
Peyton Crowder got the heartbreaking call that his father, Eddie Crowder, was in the hospital after a deadly accident on I-85 near Gaffney. Eddie's car crushed between an 18-wheeler and the chutes.
He was a white car that got hit by the 18-wheeler, and he was like upside down. And it turns out it was almost an hour they tried to get him out and had to get out the jaws of life. But luckily, he wasn't conscious for a lot of it.
Peyton says his father will need surgery due to the extent of his injuries. He and other drivers like Ansley Hamrick Cheatham are now calling out the SCDOT.
We don't want to have any more deaths on 85. It's not just the people that live in Gaffney, it's people traveling.
Cheatham started a petition to get the SCDOT to fix what the Cherokee County coroner describes as a death trap.
We are always going to have drivers that are driving too fast. We're always going to have distracted drivers, tired drivers, someone who's following too closely. We can't change that. What we can do is evaluate that stretch of highway.
And Crowder agrees. He believes the SCDOT has to do something before this happens to someone else.
They call it the death chute for a reason. And I think it's a downright shame that the SCDOT hasn't done more to protect the citizens of South Carolina and travelers alike on our roads. Because it's not a new thing. It's not something that's just not happening, just driver error.
And Crowder wants to send his prayers to all of the other families who have lost loved ones during this fatal accident. I did check with Cheatham's Change.org petition. Right now it almost has 2,000 signatures at this point. So now some other Gaffney residents that I spoke to online, I was scrolling through Facebook, say that people should also slow down and pay attention to signage. So there's both sides here. Back to you, Cody.
Teresa, thanks. And we did reach out to the DOT. They sent us a statement you say here. DOT is working with law enforcement officials to gain a better understanding of the circumstances that led to the tragic crash on I-85 construction project. This project has been plagued by crashes throughout the work zone, including crashes like this one that involved tractor trailers that were traveling in lanes designated for passenger vehicles only. We will continue our efforts with law enforcement and local first responders to identify and implement additional measures designed to get motorists to slow down, pay attention, and stay in the proper lane.